The Justin Robert Young program brought to you as always by everybody who supports us at payjurydaily.com. That's, of course, where you can support the show. Make sure it keeps going. But enough of talking about how we support the show. What do you say we just do the damn thing? Oh, ladies and gents, clear out the vents. And of course, by that, I mean blow your nearest ventriloquist. My name is Justin Robert Young. This is the Justin Robert Young program. We call it JuRY for short because it's a clever abbreviation of my initials. I want to begin this show with a little plug for another show that I do. Please, 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 if you are in the Bay Area, we only got a few tickets left. Only a few spots remaining for our Wave Watch show. That is me going over the story of the midterms while all the live results come in. That is at the Piano Fight Theater tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific time, of course, because I don't know why it would be on another time zone. But you can get your tickets at bit.ly/wavewatch. Let me just make this clear. It does not matter who you're rooting for in this election. I will predict that the majority of the crowd is going to be liberal. It's San Francisco, after all. But this is going to be just a better version of you watching insipid plate spinning on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News. Wherever you're planning on watching this coverage, I guarantee you I'm going to waste your time better. You'll be more entertained if you come out to this live show. We will be streaming it. It will be on this channel, twitch.tv/JustinRYoung, and we'll post it. But the stream of it is going to be off a handheld rig. So you will not get the rich live experience of all the visuals and everything like you would if you came out. So, my self-worth counter is pretty good lately. We only have a few tickets left, so go ahead and check it out. bit.ly/wavewatch. All right, enough horsing off. We do have an election story to go over, and boy, is it a good one. This story comes to us from NJ.com, NewJersey.com. And I really can't do anything but just read this headline straight. So I'm just going to read this headline straight. The Sex with Bigfoot movie starring a New Jersey school board candidate is even worse than it sounds. I will repeat that headline one more time. The Sex with Bigfoot movie starring a New Jersey school board candidate is even worse than it sounds. I'm going to do a lot of reading from this, and I will try to translate as much as I can. Meet Edward X. Young Brick. Oh, sorry. Edward X. Young. Oh, shit. You think he's related to me? Brick school board candidate. Exactly. No one was asking for a movie about interspecies breeding with Bigfoot in New Jersey, but that didn't stop Edward X. Young from getting one made. I don't know. Who wrote this? Claude Broadesser Anchor? I mean, nobody was asking for a movie about interspecies breeding on with Bigfoot. Have you seen how many I fucked Bigfoot ebooks get sold on Amazon every day? I'm going to go ahead and bet that if you were to do a demographic breakdown of how many people are buying Bigfoot Fuck Somebody books off Amazon that you're going to get a little smattering from the Garden State. I'm just saying, this is a little bit of an editorialization that I'm uncomfortable with. If I were your editor, Claude, I would say we need to revise that. You would say, although we're sure some were clamoring for an interspecies breeding with Bigfoot movie set in New Jersey, many are made uncomfortable, specifically when Edward X. Young is running as a school board candidate. We continue. Young, one of 6 candidates running for 3 seats on the Brick Board of Education next Tuesday, is the star of a soon-to-be-released Bigfoot, Blood Trap, an ultra-low-budget horror movie made last summer that's now generating ultra-high controversy for his candidacy. We're going to take a real quick traipse over to this story here. This is about his candidacy. Before we get into the review of Edward's new movie, Bigfoot, Blood Trap. By the way, Jester Woot live in our Twitch chat room says, at least it's a horror movie and not a porn. Put a pin in that. We go back to this article about the controversy. This is by Steve Strunksky. Among 6 candidates running for 3 seats on the Brick Board of Education next Tuesday is challenger Edward X. Young, who has raised eyebrows with his work as an actor in low-budget horror films, including those that have nudity, sex, drugs, and violence against women. It's work critics say should keep him off the board and out of the lives of Brick students. Quote, every parent has to look at that and make a judgment for themselves, says Board of Education President Stephanie Walrab, who's seeking re-election on a 3-person slate under the Believe in Brick banner on Tuesday's ballot. As for her own feelings about young, Walrab says, I do not believe that he should be in a position of making decisions that affect school children. Let's see if we can get a quote here from Young. Oh, did they not really reach out to this guy? They didn't get a quote from the guy himself? They just found a bunch of viral... Oh, shame on you, NJ.com. Shame on you. That's bad. That's bad. All right, you want to know what? Then keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as we read this review of the Sex with Bigfoot. Last year, Young mentioned his fascination with Stalin-era Russian biologist Ilya Ivanovich Ivanov. All right, take 2. Ilya Ivanovich Ivanov. Ilya Ivanovich Ivanov, who in 1929 solicited female volunteers to be artificially inseminated with orangutan sperm. To producer John Oricho, a schlock horror filmmaker based in Millville. Quote, we were thinking about doing a horror movie, Oricho said in an interview with NJ Advanced Media on Friday. Ed said he thought it would be great to be a Bigfoot movie, and I said, yeah. But the film's violent sexual content has the current school board president warning that Young should not be in a position of making decisions that affect school children. Intrigued, we decided to see for ourselves what is actually in Young's movie. So we are going to read only the first couple paragraphs of this because I found a few of these sentences to be fairly amazing. In Blood Trap, Young plays a cryptozoologist named Dr. Corman, and the film opens with his family being slaughtered by a Bigfoot after his wife attacked its offspring, Littlefoot. Bigfoot spares Corbin's life only so he can abuse him. We're only 4 minutes in, and this film is already causing me to rethink my career and life choices. Make it all about you. Jesus Christ. We return to the reading. But in an interview with New Jersey Advanced Media Friday, Orico said that the international distributors insisted on opening the film either with a killing or a lesbian sex scene in order to guarantee it would be appealing to foreign audiences. Quote, so I figured... let's do a killing in a lesbian scene, end quote, Orrico said. In the film, two heavily tattooed women are shown filming their own erotic encounter in a forest. Naturally, they bring a high-powered rifle with them just in case Littlefoot stumbles into the shady glen, which sure enough, he does. But shooting Bigfoot's fur baby will only get your guts ripped out. And that's how things end to our inked-up pair. So this is the movie, and I'm not going to read the rest of it. Suffice to say, the rest of the movie centers around Bigfoot going on a tremendous revenge spree, and this mad scientist attempting to breed Bigfoot with other women. It involves explicit sex, explicit violence, and copious murder, blood, and guts. But the question is, exactly how disqualifying is this for a school board? Because if there's one thing that I know about somebody that does low-budget films, it's how to make a dollar stretch. I know that one thing that somebody who's involved in low-budget films certainly knows is not a lot of reward necessarily comes from all the hard work that you put in, and ultimately, you really do just need to understand that it is the work itself that is what you want to feel good about the next day. And sure, not every piece of art is for everybody, nor do I think even Edward X. Young, whether or not he's related to me, is suggesting that Bigfoot Blood Trap is something that he would recommend to students as a member of the school board. I think that certainly there is a place for such movies. If there's an international distribution syndicate waiting to pass around this art throughout the globe, then certainly there are some consenting adults who absolutely want to see Bigfoot Blood Trap. The question that I think we all have to ask, and maybe it is something that defies our initial desire to signal our more pious virtues, is exactly how much can somebody work in a field that is specifically designed for not kids, for them to make good decisions on a management level for an education board. Or maybe the film is just too fucking weird. You go ahead and email me. JuRyDaily@gmail.com. Again, JuRyDaily@gmail.com. Go ahead and pop that on in to the YouTube comments if you are watching us on youtube.com/Justin Robert Young. But let's go ahead and get into your emails. Again, JuRyDaily@gmail.com is where you need to go. We begin with Keith. Keith says, "Hey, Will." Fuck you, sincerely, Keith. I don't know where this comes from. I don't know where Keith is getting all worked up about Will. Will is one of those in the exclusive jurors box at the end of the show, where all of our $20 our $20 patrons get shouted out at the end of the show. By the way, Will has never asked to be said as Will. I just decided to start doing it because it seemed like a cool thing to do. So I don't really know where this hostility comes from, Keith, but I will have you know that it was not Will's decision to scream his name. I am the one that decided to say it. Oh, yeah, no. It is the grand jury. This is the grand jury that gets called out at the end of the show. Thank you, Mbambacube. I got to make sure I write that down. John in Connecticut says, "Here's something to show that the Satanic Temple may have some trouble with their case against Netflix. In 2005, Christian Marclay made an art film that was clips of people talking on their phones in movies. In 2007, Apple contacted Marclay to use part of his film as an ad for the new iPhone. He declined. So Apple made an ad using the exact same concept. Marclay sought legal help, but it didn't go anywhere because they have the right to be inspired." I asked last week whether or not the idea that somebody emailed in and said, I once dated a Satanist and the sex was amazing. So my question to Satanists was, is that a stereotype that you think is harmful? You don't think that it's good. Doesn't show the full robust nature of everything that a Satanist can be. Well, we got this in. Chris wrote, Satanism equals hedonism, so yeah, fuck like a champ. Smiley face. Now, Chris did not say that he was a Satanist, and what I really want to hear from are Satanists. I need Satanists to email us so you can say whether or not the idea that Satanists fuck like a champ is an offensive stereotype. I need to hear from Satanists. I know we have at least one Satanist here. We could ask Satan. Maybe if we keep going, we'll have to ask Satan. Middle-aged Mike writes, I have a question. If you fuck well, do you have to convert to Satanism? That's it. I mean, imagine understanding. You know, you go to church every week. And every week, you know, you have the same folks and you have a tremendous community of fellowship. You have just a great relationship. The community is stronger by way of everyone's relationship with Christ. And then next thing you know, Susie's got to leave the church. Why? Susie, are you moving? No. I'm staying exactly where I am. Have you lost faith in the Lord? No, my personal relationship with Jesus is stronger than ever, actually. Well, Susie, why do you have to leave the church then? Well, it's just that I fuck too good. It turns out I have to convert to Satanism because I fuck too good. That'd be a real bummer. I wonder how you would be informed. Would a pentagram just appear on your wall? Would it be a mass mailer? I don't know. D-Brew writes in, and he has this to say. What's wrong with being a little aggressive? I believe what D-Brew is referring to is I made mention about Aziz Ansari, and I said that he got in hot water because he was too aggressive on a date. Now, what I was doing was kind of using a euphemism here because I didn't want to specifically get into the nuts and bolts of what happened with the Aziz Ansari thing. So, D-Brew, I would suggest that you just go ahead and read that if you had not done it. And I think the larger point I was making is that the woman that Aziz Ansari was going on that date with and wound up hooking up with found his behavior to be uncomfortable. So nothing's wrong with being a little aggressive in any kind of sexual manner as long as everybody's on board. It's just a matter of making sure everybody's on board. You know, just that easy. Redneck Tech writes, in an angry voice, he requests the angry email voice. What is your irrational hatred of eggs, oil, vinegar, and lemon juice blended in the miraculousness of God's given condiments? Do you also abstain from the mercury-filled goodness of tuna salad sandwiches? What about egg salad and macaroni salad? Maybe you need to understand the glories of his wondrous jizz. If it helps, I'm white, and I hate ketchup. Look, I don't like mayo, dog. I just really don't like it. And so if you're asking me whether or not I like tuna salad or egg salad or macaroni salad, the answer is no, I don't. I don't like any of them. The only macaroni salad I like is when it's pretty much just like vinegar based. I just don't like it. I don't like it. By the way, available exclusively at the live show tomorrow, there's going to be some buttons. One of them is a Death to Mayo button. As soon as we're done, if we have any left there, they'll go up on the website. And finally, Crunchy on YouTube writes, if anything, I feel like it would be offensive to all people who aren't Satanists. This talking about the Satanists can fuck better. She goes on, is once you go black, you never go back offensive. These sound like compliments to me. I mean, compliments can be offensive. Like, I don't think that it is impossible for a compliment to be offensive. Offense is all in the eye of the beholder. And certainly how we deal with it is, its own thing. But I always kind of found, the once you go black, you never go back thing. I always found that to be more of a primitive understanding of like, all right, well, we all have tastes. We all have interests. If for some reason, not for some reason, if you find yourself in life wanting to date people of a certain race, then you find, that I always thought that was where that went. I don't know. Also, it's weird. Trench Wildfire says, I definitely say once you go black, you never go back from time to time. And if it helps, I'm white. All right, we have new producers. And I think we've gone over our grand jury pool here. So I'm just going to read them. I'm going to do my best to read them kind of off here. So we have Rock and Roll Martian, Brian, Robert, M, BioCow, Middle Age Mike, PD Rave, Trey Warren, Dustin. Oh shit, did I already fuck up? John, James, Bill, Joe, non-specific, and the Jen, and of course, Will. We'll do our best to make that a little smoother tomorrow. Folks, you can go ahead and email me, jurydaily@gmail.com, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, @JustinRYoung. Please come see me tomorrow night at the Piano Fight Theater in San Francisco, 7 p.m., Go ahead and get tickets to that at bit.ly/wavewatch. And, of course, join our Discord, bit.ly/JuRY Discord. Until tomorrow, please give a round of applause to Mr. Wacky. And, of course, please, don't die! Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.